Thank you. Hello, everyone. Let's continue with Master YongHua's teachings.
Go Forest Apple has a question.
Okay.
This is from Go Forest Apple. Pierce bought a gun for entertainment. He wants me to go to indoor shooting range with him. I am not interested in that, but I feel I need to go with him once to show my support. I want to know if it's okay.
Yes, it's okay. Basically, the karmas, you're not creating any direct karmas, killing karmas. In fact, in the Dharma, the Buddha talked about a story of a lady, a wife who certified to first stage arhatship, and her husband was a hunter. So in the morning, before the husband left for work, she would give him the arrows and the bow. And so the Buddha's disciples complained to the Buddha and said, she's breaking precepts. And the Buddha said, no, she's not breaking precepts. For a wife to be able to give the husband the bow and arrow like that is perfectly okay. It's nothing, no precept being broken. So similarly, in her case, she's really not even giving him the gun, so it's even less of a problem. However, you look at the bigger picture, I'm not sure what his real motivations are for purchasing a gun. You purchase a gun, a real gun, it's usually is not for fun, typically. Usually you buy a gun for fun. Usually you buy like a rifle or a shotgun when you go hunting because it's a lot more challenging than a handgun. A handgun usually is not really for fun. Okay, that's my first impression. Second comment is that if that's maybe he doesn't want to alarm her about his intended use. And it's more dangerous now on this day and age, especially in America. You hear in the news nowadays, it's virtually every week, virtually every other night, you hear of some new shooting in the U.S. It's scary here, okay? And it's alarming, so therefore, could happen to you. So I can see why some people are nervous and say, I need to protect my wife and my loved ones, and therefore I better be prepared for such a thing. Okay, so I would understand that. And once you have that intention, then it makes sense to buy a handgun and go to the shooting range for practice. So if that's a real reason, then it is not advisable to buy a handgun, in my opinion, because of the complications involved. If you should have to use and you happen to harm someone, you could end up in jail and your life would be going down the tube. It's not advisable at all because and if you only plan to use a gun to scare someone, it doesn't work like that. When you point the gun at someone, James Bond says, you point it at me, you better be prepared to shoot at me, otherwise it would kill you. Okay, so the point here is that with all that thing, if is he prepared to shoot at someone to protect his wife or protect himself? You have to ask yourself that. Okay? And finally, third point is that for us Buddhists, we have better ways to defend ourselves than by harming others. When you are in danger, first of all, we don't attack others, except for even in self-defense, except for self-defense, whatever. But for you, typically, if you get in trouble, you can recite Wan Yin's name, you can recite Medicine Master Buddha's name, and so forth. And that's your real protection right there. In fact, the better protection is to have some Medicine Master Buddha blessings so that you'll be safe and you'll be protected from those unforeseen accidents, if you will. Okay, so for us Buddhists, we avoid those tools of violence because we have better means. Okay, it's very messy if you shoot at someone, and you're gonna have to live with that the rest of your life. You could be sued. You could be in jail yourself. It's an endless suffering for you. I wouldn't recommend it. So the conclusion is that it's not up to her, it's his gun, and she can go with him to the shooting range, but they should talk about it and bring it up. She should bring it up from her perspective so that he knows. Anyone has any other ideas? Yes, Daniel?
Would you recommend maybe non-lethal weapons like pepper spray or tasers?
For some reason now, I have a hard time hearing you. Is this the audio, or he's slurring, he's not having inflection, he's not stressing, or what? Is that my hearing? I keep on asking myself. I'm meditating, so I doubt it's my hearing. But every night it's like I struggle so much for all of you. Yes, sir.
It could be old age too, but I was asking if could it be is it possible to use like pepper spray or tasers?
Yeah, you're entitled to use anything to defend yourself. I'm just saying that the act of shooting at someone has some dire consequences. I'm not sure that most of you are prepared to face it. Most of you can cope with it. So you have to think things through carefully. Just because you're in danger, are you still capable of harming someone, shooting at someone, and killing someone? That's an entirely can of worms that you're not sure you can handle at all. Soldiers and policemen are trained to kill and shoot, but we're not. And even so, the cops, except for James Bond, they have to deal with the consequences. They're traumatized by it, And to me, one of the things that people don't think about is suppose you shoot at someone and this person doesn't die, but you disfigure that person for life. And that image and that person, that face, and that, he or she becomes invalid or something. You have to live with that the rest of your life. Why you have to resort to that? Recite Wan Yin's name, recite Medicine Master Buddha's name. That's what I recommend. If you really want to defend yourself, do that. Instead of going to the shooting range, recite the Medicine Master Buddha's name every night. Recite Wan Yin's name, recite Great Compassion mantra. Things like that will protect you. And if at worst comes to worst, then you can use pepper spray or something that's less violent, less dangerous, less harmful to others. A gun works both ways. You're not prepared to shoot. They grab it from you and shoot you. How would you like that? Okay, continue. Now I can't hear him either.
天气寒冷了，各位应该穿多一点衣服。不要把妈妈的孩子给冻坏了。
It's cold. Everybody should dress warmly. Don't let these mama's kids feel cold.
你要把妈妈的孩子给冻坏了，这个爸爸也不高兴，妈妈也忧心。
If you freeze these mama's kids, daddy will be unhappy and mama will be worried.
再说一句不相干的话，就是没有什么用的话。
Let me make one more irrelevant comment, say something useless.
你如果是皈依三宝的人，令你师父也跟着忧愁起来。
If you have taken refuge with the triple jewel, you would make your master worry as well.
所以要自己好好的保护自己身体。你身体就是修道的本钱。
Therefore, you should protect your body well. Your body is your capital for you to cultivate the way.
你身体要不健康了，你就不能修道。我真高兴。这几位离这儿很远的果尊和果寻。
If you are not healthy, then you can't cultivate the way. I'm very happy Guo Zun and Guo Xun live far away from here.
果山离这儿很近，不过他跑得很远。
Guo Zhan lives very close by, but he runs very according to Jay means tough, hardcore.
在这个狂风暴雨的期间，可能赶来听佛法。
In the midst of this wild storm, you still came to listen to the Buddha Dharma.
所以呀，我就不会讲佛法，都要勉强讲一讲。
So even though I can't speak the Buddha Dharma, I have to give it a try.
如果不讲呢，就辜负这么好的徒弟，在这么样的天气来听经，今天是特别高兴。
If I don't speak, then I fail such good disciples who came to the sutra lecture in such bad weather. I am extremely happy today.
这果寻白天做工做得很辛苦，被一些个小孩子来欺负，那小孩子很不受规矩的。
Guoxun works during the day. He works very hard. He was bullied by little children. Those children are very unruly.
他问我怎么办，我就告诉他要忍。这个果尊也是教小孩子的。
He asked me what to do. I told him to endure. Guozun is also a teacher for little children.
这叫小孩子王呢，教书的先生叫小孩子王，这是很不容易的，做小孩子王。
This is called little children's king. A teacher is called little children's king. To be little children's king is very difficult.
我北方有这么一句话，说家有二斗粮，不当孩子王呢。
In the north, where I was from, there's a saying, 20 liters of rice at home, don't be little children's king.
家里呀要有这个2斗米，就不去教书去。为什么呢？这小孩子太不听话。
If the person has 20 liters of rice at home, then he won't be a teacher. Why? Because the little children are too unruly.
果真呢，他家里不止2斗，就4斗，恐怕他也有。他是为什么他还要做孩子王呢？
Guozun's house has more than 20 liters of rice, even 40 liters of rice. He probably has it as well. Then why is he the children's king?
就想要把佛法介绍到青年人的这个那个里边去，所以去教书啊。
Because he wanted to introduce the Buddha Dharma to the young people, that's why he teaches. He teaches.
以后我们这杂志可以给果尊，他愿意带多少就带多少，送给他那些个学生。
In the future, we can give Guozun our magazine. He can take as many as he likes to give to his students.
学生如果他欢喜呢，也可以送给他慢慢看。
If his students like it, we can give it to him so he can read it slowly.
那些中学生 差不多的，你给他在中学里边呢，这个小孩子还没有完全坏的那么厉害。
The middle school students are still okay. In the middle school, the kids are not that bad.
等到大学里边呢，大了，坏的就厉害一点。
Until they go to college, until they grow up, they will become really bad.
所以趁着他没有坏的那么厉害，就给他吃一点好的这个药，不是给他吃的迷魂药。
So we are taking advantage of when they are not that bad yet to give them some good medicine, but not the ecstasy.
就是给他吃一点的法药，这个佛法的药。
This is to give him some Dharma medicine, some Buddha Dharma medicine.
那么，这一般的小孩子，早一点呢，觉悟，早一点。得到佛法的这种滋润。
To make those kids awaken sooner, and get the nourishment of the Buddha Dharma.
这是很好的一件事啊！果农也是住得很远的地方。
That's a good thing. Gorong is here as well. Gorong also lives very far away.
Okay, stop. Let's go back. I don't know where it's going. It's my first time too. And maybe when I listened to this a long time ago, this section was barely audible. That's why I have no idea where he's going. And by the way, a Catholic, my hearing is about a third sharper than usual. Okay, the master started by saying it's cold, so make sure you add more layers. And in particular, pay attention to your kids. This is always a concern of mine. I go to the temple, and on the weekends especially, or when I see children, I want to make sure that I give the order for all the abbots and vice abbots to make sure that we turn on the heater or make the heaters available to the people who need it, especially ones who don't have the skills to defend themselves against the cold, whether it's young children or old people or people who have lower level of samadhis who wouldn't know what to do. Okay, yes, one.
There's something that he said that is kind of bothering me, and I don't know why. I'm not even Buddhist. There's a section that he says that if you're sick, you cannot practice, or something like that, or that you have a difficult time practicing.
You slurring. I hear very clearly you slurring. Repeat that one more time.
Okay. There is a section where it says that that you cannot practice if you're sick.
There is a section that says you cannot practice when you're sick.
They cannot practice? Who's they?
The people, they want one of those slides.
You mean the Catholics cannot practice until they're sick?
No. On the slide, it says that that it's very difficult for someone to practice when you're sick.
They're sick, not six. Be careful your enunciation when they're sick. Yes? So what about it? When you're sick, how can you practice?
You cannot practice when someone is sick, or
You
what
don't
does that
have the
mean?
energy to practice. If we meditate, you sit, for example, you need a certain amount of energy for you to sit straight and sit a little bit longer. That takes energy. And when you are sick, your energy level is very low, so you can't do that. It's common sense. I think we're going to that. So he said, make sure you don't keep these children cold. Mamas and daddy will be worried. And in particular, if you you also make me worried because you're my disciple. Simple. Turn on the heater. Okay, and he's very frugal. What happens, Yento? And you taking unnecessary risks here in America. It was okay for him when he was that way, but nowadays you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that we do our best to protect the visitors to the temple. Okay, you have to be alert. That's an order. I don't care if I have to pay more. Just use the heater, make sure it's warm. Okay? We don't want people to get sick. I remember going to Master Srinath's temple the first time, talked to that monk for about half an hour. I came back and got a cold. I was sick for like 3 or 4 or 5 days. You don't do that to people. Especially when you know that people don't have the skills and they're not dressed warmly enough. That's insensitive of the monks and nuns who are used to the temples cold and they dress warmly and they see people walking in with one shirt and they don't do anything to help. And that's stupid. There's no other description for it. You're so stupid. You open the doors of the temple in order to serve the public, not to harm the public. I don't care. If you cannot afford to pay for the heat, then close the temple. Don't open it. But when you open the temple, it's a commitment from me that we won't do anything on purpose to harm you. So that monk is a real idiot. And turns out he's not doing well right now either. Stupid people make stupid decisions. Anyway, I don't condone that. You're supposed to take care of our visitors. No excuse. Therefore, you should protect your body well. Your body is your capital for you to cultivate the way. I don't think like that. I happen to disagree with him. Your body is not your capital. Your body is just a tool. What is your capital? Your capital is your blessings. This is where, if you Chinese listen to this, you will be misled into thinking your body is your capital. Your body is nothing. Your body is zilch. We're using your body to train you. This is not your capital. So as a tool, the tool needs to be well oiled, the tool needs to be sharp, the tool needs to be in good shape in order for you to use it. That means that you need to be healthy. How can a capital be healthy? Chinese. This is where this is where we Westerners listen to this. But everyone's so polite. No one asks him. I would ask Master here in the U.S. So we think our body as a tool. We don't think of it as capital. I want to see how he would react. Just like Catholic tried to tell me I'm going deaf. You see, I didn't get offended at all. I sulked for about 5 minutes, and I got back at him and said, hey, you idiot, I know my hearing is sharper than normal. I know that already. Nice try, Catholic. You can't cultivate a way. I'm very happy Go Zun, Go Xun live far away from here. He's happy because these people came to learn the Dharma. It makes him happy. I can understand that, for a obscure Chinese monk in Chinatown, for people to drive quite a ways to come and listen. That's remarkable. They appreciate his Dharma, and they appreciate the work he put into it. So it's nice. So it makes him happy, yes. And a guy even came there to listen to the Buddha Dharma during the midst of bad weather in California in particular. Those of you who just came from Korea, you don't know what it's like here in California when it rains. All the streets are deserted, let alone there's a storm. And when storm, we call 911. And we say, yeah, this is too dangerous for us. Okay? California is a week. I was from the Midwest, When I moved here to California in the Midwest, we drive in the sleet, we drive in the snow. In the morning, you get out when it snowed last night. So you get out of your garage and you get to the street and you slam your brakes and you see your car slide forward, it won't stop. That is scary. That's what we used to, okay? Here in California, it rains, everyone runs scared. California is so weak, let me tell you. I never got used to it. Still today, I say, what is the matter? I still drive for 90 when it's raining. Just kidding. Okay, but I don't understand it. Why are people so weak? This is the point. The point is that you got to live in such bad weather countries. Then your skin gets tougher. Okay. Anyway, so this guy braved the storm. Storm, big deal. It's like 狂风暴雨. So it has strong wind and heavy rain. So what? Okay, but he came to listen to Buddha Dharma, so the master is very happy about that. He says, because of that, I will try. So this is the spirit behind it. As long as you come, we try our best to share with you our dharmas. Okay, I know it's very tough. That's why, in particular for me, it's very, very heartwarming to see so many of you show up day after day after day after day. That's very, very tough. Okay, it's not easy at all. You have a lot of blessings. Okay, it says, I am not a good speaker, Dharma speaker, but I give it a try. And especially for you good people who came here to want to learn from me, it makes me happy. Gu Xun, in particular, worked very hard during the day. He's bullied by little children. The little children are unruly. Okay. Again, in this country, children cannot bully us. I don't know about you students, you teachers. I don't know because I've never met unruly students. I was a teacher temporarily at a city 10,000 Buddhist boys' school. And I was scary enough that no one was unruly with me. I have this reputation. Okay, so in our country, the little children are not really unruly. They don't listen. There's a difference between unruly versus they don't listen. They're distracted. So I don't know where he's referring to. This is clearly maybe Chinese little children. Huh? Help me out. I don't get it. Where does he get this from? That little children can bully an adult. It doesn't happen here in this country. In particular, if you're a teacher, you've been trained, and you deal with children every single day. How could they bully you? Explain that to me. I was listening and said, really? In America, or is this in China? Does it happen in China where little children bully you? Or in Korea? Huh? Anyone? Vietnam? Yes. Philippines? 7.
Master, I thought that was such an interesting comment. I thought maybe this, you're saying that it's an adult. I thought maybe it was a child.
No, he's an adult. He's a teacher. He says later he's a teacher here. For little children.
Yeah.
So he asked for advice. What do I do? My children don't listen to me. I wouldn't call it unruly. I know children are scattered. Because you have a lot of small children coming out of temple. You tell them and they listen, can listen to you, and they keep on running. And it's not that they bully us. They're just more interested in other things than us. I don't see it as unruly. Because I have some experiences with small children at our temple. I try to give them some candy, they grab the candy and run again, they continue running. That's how it is. Okay, he's more interested in candy than me. So why would they bother bullying me? Bullying the teacher. Okay. Anyway, so his teacher are little children. I feel that most of these teachers have some training for how to run classes, especially leadership. A teacher requires leadership skills. So I doubt that or maybe this guy Gu Zun skipped that class, leadership training class. So he asked Master YongHua for advice. Let's stop here for a moment. What advice would you give him? What happened in school for us? They're dead? You man the station and you cannot tell the difference? I was patiently waiting to see if someone would notice. You see, Catholic, Master hears everything, sees everything, he says nothing. I may be old, but I hear everything. Okay, I'm calm. Anyone? How shall we help this guy here who asked for help because students bullied him? You feel the same way as I do, clearly. I don't take it seriously. Why do you ask me about this? You should know, you should have training already. I mean, you're a teacher. You're supposed to be working with unruly and scattered children, because that's why they're called children. They're scattered and they're unruly and they don't listen to you. So what else is new? What's there? What advice can I give you? They're children. He says, children's king, children's king. What is children king? Children do not have kings. Okay, I don't know what the Chinese, please Chinese people help me out. I don't understand you Asians' viewpoint here. Your teacher's a children's king? Kings, okay, listen, to me kings is, they become kings because they inherited the title. Okay, they become king, then they can cut your head off without having to answer to anyone. So how can you be bullied? There's a contradiction here. That's why I listen. Where is he going again? And then someone tells me I'm hard of hearing. Yes, anyone? Children's king, very difficult. If you have 20 liters of rice, then you will not want to be a children's king. Hai Ji Wang, too Chinese, too unruly. Go Zun is not desperate like we are, but why did he choose to be children's king? Because he wanted to introduce the Buddha Dharma to young people. Since when this is illegal in the United States? You get in trouble. You try to introduce religious things to the little children. We're not a cult, especially public schools. You don't do that. Where is he going? That's why I said, where you are going again? I'm getting too old for this. That's why he teaches. Okay. Would you teach small children because you want to introduce the Buddha Dharma to them? I disagree. You teach children, yes, 8.
From Jane, the Haizi Wang is the king of little children is a Chinese saying.
I don't like the Chinese saying, but explain to me why. Why do you Chinese people call it children's king? Explain that. We're Westerners. We fail to understand the meaning of that. Why are you so obsessed about king? Anyway, so he teaches to introduce Buddha Dharma. Here, you don't do that in this country. You teach because you're supposed to give them, follow the curriculum. And even if you want to introduce the Buddha Dharma to them, I would not even introduce it to them. The children, what do they know? They can't care less if it's Buddha Dharma or Christianity or was it Islam or Judaism, whatever. They can't care less. I think Master Xinhua is getting old. Someone is. Happy Catholic. So he can goes on a magazine. Magazine. I don't know where he's going, seriously. Takes as many as I have to give his student. These unruly students, he's going to give them magazines. You see, that's why I struggle so much, in spite of my age. Catholic, I can't hear you. Give it to him and he can read it slowly. Yes, 8. Why would you read the Buddha Dharma magazine of Vajra Bodhisi to a bunch of screaming kids? Yes, 8.
From Jane, the king of little children, Haizi Wang, is very strict. They taught the Confucius classics and they beat the kids all the time. It's a traditional that way.
But why do you call it king? My question is very specific. Don't throw Confucius. He's innocent. Okay, so his students like it and give it. If they still like it, he can read it slowly. That's just too much for me. Yeah, and I worry that the parents or the principal walk by and they say, "What is he doing?" Oh, I know you get fired and you get in trouble. He said middle school is still okay. Middle school kids are not that bad. They're all bad nowadays. I don't know about back then, but I don't think kids change that much. Now it's even worse. Yeah. Now at that age, they try drugs and amphetamines and all sorts of things. If they go to college and grow up, they will become really bad. Okay. You see, this is why I feel that he's too Chinese. Okay. He has no clues what's really going on in the American high schools. And when the Koreans ask me questions about the schools and universities and so forth, I say, I'm sorry, I have no clues. I have no experience in your system. I would not dare say anything because it would not make sense to you. I have no idea at all. If we're in the U.S., I would understand because I lived here long enough to listen to a lot of people, talk to a lot of people. But in Korea, I have no idea. I just heard how tough it is for the kids and for the students and for the grad students and everything, but not enough to not understand thoroughly to be able to give advices. So I back off. Okay, I say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't know enough. And I think he doesn't know what he's talking about here. Okay, Dharma medicine, Buddha Dharma, and so forth. Sooner or later, I got nourished in Buddha Dharma. I think he's trying too hard. Why can't we just let the kids have a good time? Here's my attitude. You can't go everywhere and want to spread the Buddha Dharma everywhere. That is unhealthy. Like the Christians here, I go to a store, to a shop. I got my stuff, stood in line, obediently to get to my turn. I got to my turn because she tried to convince me to believe in God. And they said, Jesus will save you. I said, you talking to me? I said, yeah. Jesus will save you. I said, you know who I am? I said, yeah, Jesus will save you. The Christians here are weird. And that's what I learned very early on. Too many people, I went to Home Depot, I would think it's Daniel's cousin, would stop me and say, hey, you believe in God? I say, no. And he tried to talk to me. I could not shake him off. The Christians here are weird. Because of those lessons, I really appreciate those people because that we Buddhists, Mahayana, American Mahayana Buddhists, we do different. We're not going to try to convince you, not try to convert you. Unlike Master YongHua here, which is Chinese Mahayana. He said he wants to spread Buddha Dharma everywhere. I don't. Okay? It's just like there's deserts, there's oceans. You cannot bring the water from the ocean to the desert. Okay? Yeah. So it's not meant for everywhere. Buddhism is not meant for everyone. Okay? Including Mahayana is not meant for Hinayana people. I found that out. American Mahayana is not for Chinese Mahayana people. Okay? Not everyone can be the open-minded. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with it. You have to embrace them as they are. You don't need to convert them. Okay, that's my problem. My problem is that these people try too hard to spread Buddhism. It's not our jobs. At least I don't look at it as my job. Master YongHua takes it very seriously. He says he wants Buddhism everywhere, on everyone's lips and everyone's mind. I don't. I have no interest. What's the difference? What he's doing is very important. He has to make the concept of Buddhism available, Buddha available, suffering. People need to be aware of it. I understand that. It's very important. But that's not what I try to do. What I try to do is, now you know, I teach you how to end your suffering. That's what I do. If you want to learn, about suffering, go somewhere else. Okay, if you're not, because if you want to hear, pick up a book. There's plenty of books out there, and there's plenty of people are willing to talk to you, like the Chinese people. They would love to talk to you about their Buddhism. Our Buddhism is lived. Because if someone comes to me like this Go Xun here and says, what do I do? I said, what do I do with my unruly students, the children? They're supposed to be unruly. What are you talking about, you idiot? What's the matter with you? So Master YongHua said, endure. Of course. What choice do you have? You're supposed to endure. And that's where we're different. Okay, he says, I want you to talk about Buddhism. I said, no. I don't want you to talk about Buddhism to anyone unless they ask for it very sincerely. Yes, that people would come to me, hey, tell me about Buddhism. I said, why should I? Aren't you Buddhist? I said, yeah. Then tell me Buddhism. Why should I? You talk to me like that. Why would I waste my time talking to you? You're not even serious. It's a waste of my time and yours. You want to have fun, you want to joke around, pick up a book on Buddhist jokes. You don't need me. I only clown for people who want to listen. Not you, non-serious people. Question from Kong.
두 가지 질문이 있습니다. 첫 번째, 안소미님 질문입니다. 밤에 운전을 하다가 차도에 뛰어든 고양이를 치웠습니다. 이것이 제 업보가 되고 문제가 되는지 궁금하고, 업보가 된다면 이것을 어떻게 해결해야 되는지 궁금합니다. This is there's a two question from JC from Korean. First question came from Ansomi. This is her question. I hit a cat that ran into the driveway while driving at night. I wonder if this is my karma, and if it is a problem, and if it is karma, I wonder how to solve this.
What's the problem again?
Question.
You're driving and there's a karma?
When she drove her car, the car in front of the car, cat just ran into the driveway. So
A cat.
she hit a cat.
She hit a cat.
Yeah, right. She hit a cat.
Okay.
So she wondered, she makes a bad karma. So if it's her karma, she wants to solve that problem.
Yeah, that's her karma because she hit the cat.
Yeah. So so she wants to know how can she serve that karma?
How do you solve that karma? It's kind of late, isn't it?
이것이 나쁜 업이 됩니까?
Okay, I'm joking too much.
싶습니다.
Okay, you people who are very knowledgeable about Buddhism, now is the time for you to speak up. What is she supposed to do? Hey, if you're not going to speak, I'm going to stop right now. Not you, Catholic. Give the Buddhists a chance first. No one? The Buddhists are ruthless. They don't care. It's not my karma, he says. It's so Hinayana, these Buddhist disciples of mine. It's none of my business. Yes, 7.
Do we assume that the cat was killed?
You think so? Yeah, you hit a cat. Yeah, she seemed afflicted over it. Yeah. Yes.
Ray Zhuang said, recite the rebirth mantra.
There you go.
Emily said, recite Amitofuo 10 times and recite the rebirth mantra.
Okay, there you go again.
Diego said, recite Buddha's name and do transference for the cat.
Yeah.
Derek said, recite 10 Amitabha. Sophia Gu said, repent and recite the Amitabha Sutra for the cat. Peter said, you can chant the Buddha's name 108 times to repent for accidentally killing the cat.
Oh, good answers. They care, you see? So that's what you do. Well, what you do is here we may have harmed the cat, and therefore we should make up for it by creating rebirth blessings for the cat, which is a tremendous gift. Because of you, the cats now have rebirth blessings. That means that the cat has a chance to go to the Pure Land, which it would not otherwise. And therefore, actually you're doing the cat a favor. Yes, Daniel?
I was wondering, can Buddhists do the black for the cat?
You can do that too. But I think she's looking at something free. Okay? Yeah. Does it make sense? Yeah, just recite the Buddha's name. It's easiest to recite the Buddha's name or the rebirth mantra. Okay, that's when you use. This is the time for you to use it to alleviate your own karmic retributions. Second question.
네, 두 번째 질문은 주민님 질문입니다. 대승절에 인연이 없고 복이 없는 사람들을 어떻게 도울 수 있을까요? 제 생각에는 그들을 대신해서 위패를 달아주는 것으로 시작할 수 있을 것 같긴 한데, 문제는 제 돈으로 위패를 달아주면 저는 복을 지을 수 있겠지만 그 사람들이 저에게 빚을 지게 되는 건 아닌가 걱정이 돼서 질문드립니다. 돈은 문제가 되지 않지만 저는 다른 사람들에게 빚을 지는 것이 싫고 다른 사람들이 저에게 빚을 지는 것도 싫습니다. This question came from Jumi. She wants to help people who don't have any blessings from Mahayana temple. In her thought, if she offer some flag for them, it start to make the Mahayana blessing for them. But problem for her, if she offered the plaque, maybe she can make her own blessing, but in her thought, they make some debit. They make some. 좀 누가 좀 도와줬으면 좋겠다. That people have some karma from me because I make a blessing for them. She worried about this problem, so she worried offer the plaque for them.
How come Sangwook is not translating and you translating? Is there some sort of a link?
There's some problem.
You have some problems right now in
emotion. Yeah, sorry.
Dharma Treasury?
I don't know.
I see. Okay, I'm just checking. I'm not criticizing. Don't be so defensive. Okay, Jumi always have a lot of issues. Yeah. I don't know how to answer her. Her questions are always so multidimensional. I don't know where to start. No, like not only multidimensional, also multi-layered. If you feel like the simple question is, if you feel like you are, that you don't want them to owe you, then give it, and in your mind you say, you don't owe me anything. It's that simple. Don't think so much. It's the same thing here for us monks and nuns. We do these things for free for you. We don't do it, say, now you owe me. You do, you give, and you forget about it, and that's it. You owe nothing, except for you unruly people, then you owe me. Okay? If you follow the rules and you behave and you practice hard, it's all free. No strings attached. But you're here to cause trouble, okay? Then you are in trouble. Okay? That's all. That's how it is. You don't worry about it. Okay? Okay, so you see, I'm kind of glad that tonight we got into this section where I really struggle with it as usual every night. Okay? I try to understand where he's going. But I'm sort of find it interesting about the way he approaches it. See, Master YongHua's penchant, his goal is to make the Buddha Dharma available to everyone. It's such a nice undertaking to make it available to the more people, the better, which makes sense. Because, unless you know about it, you won't even consider that as one option for your undertaking or for your consideration. So it makes sense. It makes sense to make it available. Okay, so it's great, and it's doubly hard for him because he wanted to make sure that the proper Buddha Dharma, the Mahayana, is available to people, not just Buddhism in general. Because let's face it, Buddhism has many, many facets, many different levels. And what he wants is to have the real Mahayana available. the patriarch's Buddha Dharma available, which is a wonderful gift. Okay, and my criticism, okay, is that his successors failed to do that. He didn't, you see, he's doing everything himself, but it stops as soon as he's done. Meaning he didn't train his students properly. And I personally am disappointed. Okay? And it's not their fault. It's Master YongHua's fault for having not prepared them properly. That's why I'm saying it, because this is one of the reasons why I continue to teach you. Because yes, your skills are pretty high now, okay? Much higher than his students, okay? So next step is I need to train you more so that you become more useful as a leader of the Buddhist community. I mean, of the Mahayana, American Mahayana world. Okay, so it requires more skills, leadership skills, management skills, Dharma speaking skills, teaching skills, and so forth. There's plenty of skills to work on. Whereas Master YongHua has everything. He's much better than I am, clearly. Okay, but he didn't prepare his students properly to teach, for example, properly. I haven't seen anyone who can teach Chan, for example. So he died with him. So maybe his role is to make it available, okay? Just like semi-avant, like the French put it, semi-avant. You throw the seed in the wind, let the wind carry the seeds, and turn everything into non-organic crops. Okay? Yeah. You see, I understand where it's coming from, and I feel that it probably is not going to work very well in our times, because I believe him. That's why I shaved my head. But I don't believe his disciples. To me, it's not about making it available alone, the next step, because he's made it available already. He introduced it already. Next step is create credible students, credible teachers. Okay? Excuse me. Does it make sense to you? I want you to understand the different kind of emphasis we have here. On his side, he says, just semi-avant. I don't like to do that. Okay, because it's terribly inefficient, and I happen to believe that everyone should be different. I perfectly have no problem with Catholic coming here and say, I want to convert you to Catholicism. Give it your best shot. Okay? Or trying to steal my, Master YongHua's Buddhist disciple from him. It's perfectly okay. Okay? She must fend for herself. But to me, that's what makes life interesting, is that we're different. Even within our temple, you're all different. And so yes, it is important that the people should be aware of something called Mahayana, okay, and we need more of that. And that's why we've been doing a lot of videos and stuff, because that's the quicker way to make it available, okay? But the main thing to me, okay, is that if that's all you do, then you are just another noise, okay? Another thing that people are bombarded with right now. They cannot tell one from the other, like Twitter. Twitter, at least it says, used to be the case, Twitter says, if you're too extreme, we'll leave you out. At least I love that. And now it's like, it's a mess again. In the name of whatever he found a reason to do. I mean, you have to be at a certain amount of responsibility. Okay. But anyway, Elon is going off his rockers. He's going crazy right now. Maybe too much weed, or too much alcohol, too much, all the pills he took to work is catching up with him. Okay, so it's okay. He has the money. He can waste it. But the point here is that if you just sème au vent, you throw in the wind, it's just another seed. Okay? And he's done that already. I feel in our times now should take a step further by creating credible teachers for Buddhism, not just for my followers. If you have my followers, I know you'll be, crying for me when I die, and you say, "Oh, I want to remember Master, how much he did for me," and so forth. Yeah, do it your own time. Okay, no problem. Okay, and I love it. I'm not criticizing you. I will never blame you for that. But I want to leave behind the next generation where you can be good teachers. Because Buddhism is not just a seed. Buddhism is you to me. It's not the books, it's not the words. It's you. Because this guy here says, "Master, I need to teach these unruly students." And Master says, "Oh, I see you don't want to be little children's king." My answer, this kid here, Go Xun, I cannot call him a kid, right? I mean, he's probably an old fart by now. This guy here, my answer would be, what are you complaining about? It's supposed to be difficult. It's difficult so that you become a better person. If it's easy, you don't need to do anything. So if you cannot handle your children, become a better teacher. Build your samadhi power so that it doesn't bother you anymore. Just like my students here, we let the kids run back and forth, make screaming and forth, and eventually I get so hardened, I say, "Okay, whatever you do, I don't care anymore." You see, because you need to face difficulties so that you rise to the occasion. What most people don't realize is that you are capable of rising to the occasion if you really want to. It's not that you can't, it's you don't want to. You don't believe in yourself. That's all. Chan, we teach you Chan so that you believe in yourself. That's why I don't like it when people come to me and want to ask questions. I say, yeah, I can answer all your questions. I'm telling you right now, I give you one answer, you ask me one more, I give you one more answer, you give me ask more, and on and on and on. I can talk to you forever. I used to do that. I used to talk to a bodhisattva every day for months, because after meditation, I would sit and talk to a bodhisattva from 3 in the afternoon, 2 or 3 in the afternoon, until it's around 10, 11 o'clock at night. Okay? And we go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I can do it endlessly. But that's different. If all you want is the seeds or the knowledge, you can pick it up anywhere. It's now, now there's plenty of materials of Master YongHua, materials, our videos and so forth, thousands, okay? There's plenty for you, okay? But this guy here, this Gurung here, if you're worried about your children, then be a better teacher, be a better person, inspire them. This is a problem with teachers is that I'm going to do what I'm told. No, whatever you do it better. Do more than expected. That's us. We do more than expected of us. That's our Buddhism. They remember us because we do more than we asked, freely, without asking for anything in return. Whereas everyone else is, what can I get away with? What's in it for me? If, there's an opportunity here to teach this guy who came to you and asked, how can I be a teacher? How can I teach my unruly children better? And I say, wonderful. Let me tell you how. Number 1, endure. Number 2, I teach you how to increase your samadhi power. And more, and more, and more. So that you will have more and more wisdom on how to solve your problems better. Why? Because it's inherent in this guy's question is, I care for my students. What can I do? That's a great opportunity for us to say, okay, I teach you. And that's what I want to populate the world with. These people who care. Who care? It's if it's necessary, pick up a book on Catholicism and teach them. Otherwise, the parents will kill you. It's perfectly okay. And insert a few Buddhist things here and there, they cannot tell the difference. Because we read the Bible better than they can. Okay? It's about you, it's not the words. It's about the fact that you care enough. Because, for example, the lady back there, she came to help cook lunch, and Xian Tung would pick a fight with her and say, don't worry about it, you're too young, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? I look at my hair, you have no hair, I have hair, my hair have 2 colors, mostly white. I've seen plenty of people like you, okay? So, what's good about it, she cares. That's why she can overlook all people's mistakes and flaws and deficiencies. And that's a lesson she's teaching us. If you care, you become a better person. You do a better job. You try to do a better job. And that's who we are. That's what we do together. Okay? Do we want to be remembered as someone who cared for them when they came to us? And don't get me wrong, those of you who try to come on to dump your trash in my temple, I let you do a few times, but it's not forever. We take time, we invest our time, our resources to train you so that you become better members of society. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of my students who came back to their jobs and they say, what happened? Or after all the suffering your master inflicted on me, all the unreasonable requests by my chant practice, it turns out it's paying off. I'm much more productive at work. I'm much healthier. I'm much happier at home. Then I can't ask for better seeds to throw in the wind, because you're throwing yourself in the wind by being yourself, by being a better person. That's our emphasis. If you want to become a better person, I'll train you. I put you through the grinders and you become a better person. That's our Mahayana. Not the books, not interested. Because the most important people in your lives, the one you care, okay? Your family, your children, your wife, your husbands, your mother, your father, I know you want to take care of them. You want to help them, don't you? That's our Buddhism, okay? It starts at home. Not just it's noise. It's trash to me. Buddhism is transmitted, is transferred by you talking to someone at the right time. It's not a supermarket. I feel that's a difference between him and me. I want to train people. He wants to s'émouvoir. It's because of my childhood. I'm disappointed at my peers. That's why I had to do something different. I hope you all too will be better. What it's about. Buddhism is not something you read and you go back to, I like Buddhism, it's so interesting concept. Buddhism lives inside of you. And you feel good about Buddhism yourself, not just up here. It's in your heart. That's the kind of Buddhism I want you to experience. Trust me, I'm just like you. I was just like you. I like to read about Buddhism. I read about everything. Okay, I loved it. But it's not the same. As when you practice, you become a better person. It's not the same Buddhism at all. The Buddhism I'm giving you right now, I'm seeing right now, I'm hearing right now from Master YongHua, it's not the same as Buddhism I heard from him when I first started. I heard part of this already. Now I hear differently than before. This is his Buddhism. This is my Buddhism, American Buddhism. That's what we call American Buddhism, no longer Chinese. Because if I'm not a better person through my spiritual practice, I would be disappointed at myself. That's all. I know. That's all. That's all that matters to me. You know or not, it's not that important. All I care about is I know, and then you give me a red car. Eventually. Don't forget that Catholic. Okay? Let me tell you what gets me going is I've seen so many of you improve so much. I don't recognize you when you first set foot in my temple. I'm so proud of that. Okay? Because that Buddhism, my Buddhism is alive. It's not just a seed that floats in the air. My Buddhism breathes in you, eats in you, dries with you, talks to your husband. That's my Buddhism. Yells at you, butts heads with you. That's my Buddhism too. All of it. That's a real deal. Not just something that's perfect. No, it's imperfect, but it's real. And it's still improving. It's still a work in progress. Okay, enough of this brainwashing. I criticize Confucius, and I find myself brainwashing you. Any questions or comments? Okay, sounds good.
Emitofuo Master, thank you very much for the teaching. I've been with you for quite a long time, and I noticed that your teaching to us also have changed along with how we grow up. I remember about 10 years ago, you encouraged us to have patience, to endure, exactly like Master YongHua teaching their student. We just heard. But recently, we're no longer in the center anymore, and we should look at how we do for others. And I'm really appreciated your teaching. I want to say thank you, Master.
What happened to the applause sign? Okay. Oh, but thank you very much. Anyone else have anything nice to say to Master? Yes, 8 online people.
I've been sick since Sunday and finally crossing my legs on the floor at home watching Master again. Thank you for investing in online Dharma talks so I can cultivate at home until my strength returns and I can come back to the temple in person.
And that's someone we know, right?
Peter.
I know. I can see, I can hear, the English words are so perfect, and then and so smooth, and so, shall we say sincere? You're welcome. Next. That's it? That's all we have? After all these years, that's all I've got? Catholic, say something, for God's sake. See, Catholic is not even cooperating. He says, become Catholic, Master. No, again, it's not, it's evolving because of you. Because you went beyond Master YongHua's disciples already. And that's why I had to, if I fed you the same thing, I fear you'll be just like them. So that's why I had to feed you different kinds of diet. Okay? Yes, Daniel.
I do want to say that I don't know how much I have seen like Apple made so much changes, especially in her mood swings. I think I said that aloud. So I think it's working for her, and for me, it's making me a little more patient, especially with working with my population that I work with. So even though I really don't meditate or anything like that, sometimes I remember your words, whatever you say, and sometimes I have to remember myself, okay, you need to be patient, Daniel.
Yeah, and that's that you will never be Buddhist. I know you. And you go back and call up on God to protect you from temptation. Thank you. Okay, now let's not get any more mushy. Okay, thank you everyone. We stop here tonight.